one is talking about this with Charlotte Flair, and they need to. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what y'all need to be talking about it and why no one's talking about it. We know that Charlotte Flair is on her way back. Heck, she could be back on television by the time that you hear this video. And it doesn't matter exactly what she does right now, it's where she's going. Look, they could make her return on television, or they could make her return at the Women's Royal Rumble. In my opinion, I think it would be fair to see her at the Women's Royal Rumble. But the landscape of WWE has changed since the last time that Charlotte Flair was on television. It was December of 23 in which Charlotte Flair had her life and her career turned upside down, suffering a torn ACL, MCL, and a meniscus that put her on the shelf for over a year. Now, during this time, there's been countless stars rise to the occasion in WWE. I'm thinking Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and of course Liv Morgan. Rhea Ripley is another one that has taken a further step forward into becoming a megastar. And then there's others like a Jade Cargill who have made her arrival in WWE. There is countless stars in which Charlotte Flair can work with as we go into 2025. But as Charlotte Flair returns, reportedly going to be on the SmackDown brand, well, there is one question and one question alone. How long does it take WWE to put her in a title picture? How long does it take WWE, Triple H, and Co. to opt to go with her as the women's champion and or the women's world champion? Would she go after a Rhea Ripley with the Raw Women's Championship top prize as the women's world championship? Or would she go on SmackDown and go after Tiffany Stratton, who had just cashed in and won the belt and the women's championship? And so that leads us to today's video. I don't think there's enough people talking about the fact that Charlotte Flair is most likely going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble match, and there is a very, very good shot at her winning the Women's Royal Rumble match, earning herself an opportunity at WrestleMania 41 this April to challenge for either the Women's World Championship held by Rhea Ripley or the Women's Championship held by Tiffany Stratton. I think there's a very good possibility. In fact, the betting odds are out, and according to Bet Online, well, Charlotte Flair is a plus 225 favorite, a leading candidate, a leading dog, if you will, in this race. And I think it's very, very possible that WWE goes with Charlotte Flair. There is a question mark that I have, which I'll talk to in a minute, but let's look at the landscape here. Would it make sense for Charlotte Flair to be a champion right now? Well, of course it does. It's Charlotte Flair. At any given time, Charlotte Flair can become a world champion, whether it be on Raw or SmackDown, whether it be a heel or a babyface. That's Charlotte Flair. She is arguably WWE's biggest female stars and has been for the last decade. She's been booked in top positions against top stars in top feuds at top events. In fact, she was one of the women who can say that they headlined WrestleMania for the very first time. Her, Ronda Rousey, and of course Becky Lynch. She's had countless first ever matches. Charlotte Flair is a megastar. She is up on the level of a Roman Reigns, a John Cena, a Cody Rhodes, a Steve Austin, The Rock, Hogan, you list it. She is that star, whether you like it or not, she is. From her star power, to her draw ability, to her in-ring prowess, to her character work, to her promo work, as well as booking. So, despite the fact that Rhea Ripley just won the Women's Championship from Liv Morgan at the Raw on Netflix premiere, despite the fact that Tiffany Stratton just cashed in Money in the Bank, winning the Women's Championship from Nia Jax on SmackDown, I think it's fair to say that a Charlotte Flair reign is not too far away. I also think that you have to look at the fact that she's in her late 30s now, in which she's still 14, 15 reigns in as a women's champion. She has the opportunity to break her father's world record, or world title record, She has the opportunity to break John Cena's world title record, right? Even though we would all believe, I would think, that John Cena will probably break the world title record in 2025 ahead of his retirement tour, or as part of his retirement tour. I think it's fair to say that Charlotte Flair will most likely hold the record for most title reigns. She will probably get to 18. And I think that is not a far fetch at where she's at right now. The way that she does it, she usually averages like a title reign a year. So I think it's fair to say 3 more years, she would certainly hit that stride. They also have this booking philosophy in a lot of ways because she is such a heel, and she's booked as a heel in the large part. They like to have short reigns on her where she'll win a title, lose a title, win a title, lose a title type of booking. That's fine. That's how she's amassed so many title reigns, so many title records. Although Triple H, he is not under that same philosophy, so maybe that will change because under Vince McMahon, it was win one, lose one, win one, lose one. With Triple H, it's a lot longer tenure, a lot more longer reigns as champion. So maybe she won't make it, but I think that she will. And I think that he knows the star power in which she presents, the opportunities that she presents the company as well. Now, let's talk about this. There's been a lot of talk about Charlotte Flair of what do you do with her when she returns in terms of, okay, is she going to be on Raw or SmackDown? Well, WrestleVotes reports that she will be. And she will be on SmackDown, which is a brand in which she was on before her injury. Okay, so she won't be on SmackDown. That's fine. Although I could easily see her getting moved to Raw because they are on Netflix. So just keep that in mind. In regards to what do you do with her as a babyface or a heel? I've talked about this before. I'll talk about it again. I believe that Charlotte Flair is better as a heel than a babyface. So, she was last seen as a babyface. Why not book her as a heel again? If it's a role in which we have not seen in quite some time, and if it's a role in which she thrives in and is better in and is better as a star in, let's go with her strengths, right? Like, it's 2025, it's a big deal, it's a road to WrestleMania, we're all on Netflix era, the most eyeballs that the product is going to have for the next 4 months. Let's go strong, right? Why sugarcoat it? Why take a step back? Why hold back Charlotte Flair? Let's go strong. Let's go deep. And so if you look at it like that, then yeah, I think a Charlotte Flair heel run would be the most optimal. I think it would be the best case scenario. And I think if you ask Charlotte Flair, I think she would agree with that. I think she would rather be a heel than a babyface because she's just naturally dislikable, right? Like that's not a knock on her. She could be a very giving human being to her family and friends. I'm sure she is, but like in the large scope of things, she's not very likable. Just reality of the situation. Phenomenal wrestler, outstanding wrestler, but just not very likable, in my opinion. And I could be wrong. Someone let me know in the comments there below. But to wrap this up, Charlotte Flair winning the Women's Royal Rumble match, 1,000%. I can see it, 1,000%. I can get behind it. I actually like it. Her going up against Rhea in a rematch, that would be very fitting, right? Their history, WrestleMania 39, Rhea beating Charlotte Flair after winning the Women's Royal Rumble match. That's very fitting. We'll see what they do in that regard.